this video, we're going to go over episode 7 of the Bootcamp Basics for the Roland Mc-707. Make sure to watch the previous episodes since they're built up from the first. So in the last episode, we dived into the experimental sounds using the looper track unconventionally, that's without any type of synchronization. This time we're going to be making looper clips in time. The big limitation of the looper tracks is that it can only hold 1 minute of audio per project. We're going to do our best we can to work within those limitations. So outside of that 1 minute limitation, our project file can hold 6 minutes of stereo or 12 minutes of mono samples. First, let's make sure our count in is enabled. So I'm going to press Shift and knob assign, press Enter on System Setting, scroll down a count in step. I have mine set to 16, and then the metronome type I have set to type 4. It's more of a click sound. Now next, I have the metronome level set to 14. That you can adjust it to your own taste. And then down here, we have metronome position. I made it post T effects. So T effects are the multi-effects, total effects. I did that because I don't want it to be affected by any sound effects. Now if I were to press play here and press shift and tempo, it turns on the metronome. You can hear it. Let's turn it back off, function, tempo. So we're looking at a new project. If I press input and turn the knob, I have it set to external in 255. Now that's my microphone that's going right through here that we can hear. First we have a drum track. Let's press shift select. And we can change the color. Let's make it red. So I'm going to press exit. Now that's selected. I'm going to press sound. We're going to choose preset. We're going to choose A10 or TR606. Make sure we press enter, otherwise it'll just default back to the original sound. Just going to make a simple beat here. So I'm going to start with a snare. We're going to put it here and here. We'll put in the hi-hat every other step. And then we'll put in some kicks. So we'll press play. We can hear what I just made. Now the next one is a tone track. Now we're not going to use it just yet, but I do want to change the color. So let's just make that yellow. So we're going to create a new track here, and it's going to be a looper track. So just press enter. Let's change that color. We'll make it blue. So I have an acoustic guitar right here. Now I want to shift input. Just make sure we're all set here. External, record measure. Let's actually do 4 measures. Now I can change the measures right from here, just pressing measure. So 4 measures, we have this selected. So now we have the beat. So I'm going to turn the beat down just a little, enable record, and then press play. We're going to hear the count in. Now I don't hear anything because I left the volume down. So let's turn it up now. So now I'm going to go into reverb here, and we're just going to change this to warm hall. We'll turn it up. Now let's turn the bottom knob here, which is the reverb. Now I'm going to hold down select, and I can change the panning. So let's go left to about 40. Now what I'm going to do is record another loop right here. Now I want to also change that to blue. I'm going to play about the same chords, and then we're just going to pan that one out. So let's just record it. Okay, hold down select. Let's turn that to the right. I'm going to switch it to 40. I'll turn it up. I want to turn up the reverb. Turn up the reverb here. Turn the drums down a little. Now let's just check how much room we have left. So I'm going to press Shift, knob assign, scroll over to Looper Optimize. We can see we have 26%. So it's 2 stereo samples set to 4 measures at this BPM. So let's exit. So now we're just going to create a 1 measure loop. I just want to change that over to blue just so we know what we're looking at. So let's make sure we're recording 1 measure. Let's enable record. And I'm just going to snap to the beat. Okay, that recorded in, so I'm going to turn it up. Can change the pitch of it. If I want to save any of these separate loops, just choose the clip. Now we go into sound edit. I can go up here with C4, press sound, or press shift sound. Just choose edit sample. Now scroll to the right. You'll see export. You just push down. Now you'll see that it's exporting. Now we can see the file name. So that's export 51. Now if I press exit, I can just select the next clip, just press select. You'll see it's changed right here. Press enter. I can also just press function enter and you'll see it's exporting. Now this is going to save us room for new looper tracks due to the limitations. So let's go back out here. I have those exported, but what I want to do is export the whole thing to one sample. So I'm just going to create another looper. Just make that blue as well. We're going to exit. Now we're going to change the measure back to 4. Shift input. Now we're going to see record source. Turn it all the way to the right. It says mix out. So let's exit, enable record. And now this is going to record everything that we have here. Now if we turn it up, we can hear. That's the mix down. It's everything right there. So now let's just check the looper again. We're at 41% now. So now what I want to do is clear all these out. So I'm just going to delete each one. So this is getting rid of those loops. But we exported the whole thing. So now if we check our looper, it's at 3% now. Let's go back to the tone track here. Press shift select. Now sound source up here says track. Let's change that to clip. So now each clip on this column is going to be a different preset. We can copy a preset down, but each one will now be different. So let's just choose the row below because that first row we're just using as our sketch pad. So now I'm just going to press sound and wave file. Let's scroll down to export, press enter. Now I'm going to hold down shift and turn C1 knob to we're at the very bottom. Now I can preview it by pressing function. Okay, now let's scroll down to edit and tap in. Now I see normalize here. Let's just turn it down a couple decibels. So I just normalize it to -3 decibels. There we go. Press enter. Now it's written in. So we can hear it. If I press C4, you can hear that. Now let's add it as a step. Let's exit. Let's enable the clip and press play. Now it just stopped. So we have to hold it down. We see length. Hold down shift and turn the length up anywhere above 64. Also, let's turn up the velocity to 127. So what we just did was extended a note all the way across all the measures. So you can see if I press measure, we can see that we extended that all the way across all 4 measures. So press exit. Now if I press play, we can hear it. But it stopped. So what I want it to do is loop. So hold down shift sound, edit, scroll to the right. You see mode, just turn it to the left to forward. Now let's exit and listen to it. Okay, so now it's looping and we're fine. So we have that one right locked in there. Let's record something else now. So make sure the measure is 4 right now, press record, and we have this selected. Then we press play. So let's check our input. Now I had that set to mix out, so that recorded the drums right in. So if I turn down the drums, we can listen. Well, let's add something on top of this. So I'm going to turn this looper up, and now we're just going to record into here. Let's switch this back to external. So it's just going to record the external line in, and that'll be preserved. So let's record 4 bars into there. So I don't like any of those, so I'm just going to delete both of them. Now we're making sure input set to external only. Let's turn up the drums and let's play something else. So let's say we didn't like that, press stop and it doesn't save the clip. So let's start over and try again. Hold it down, turn pan, make that to the left. Select this one. Now let's just record over that. I'm going to pan that to the right. Let's turn up the reverb. Now let's record that, all of that, straight into here. So shift input. Now we're going to go all the way over to mix out, exit, just record. Okay, so all of that is recorded now into here. So let's enter into it, shift sound, edit, then function enter. Now it's exporting. Exit, compress shift right and just delete it all. Gone. Now let's go here, press sound, wave file. Now we're going to choose that new file we just made, press enter. Now it's in. Okay, let's choose all of this. So I'm going to choose copy, go down one, press paste. We're just going to choose phrase. If we choose sound, it's just going to play that same sound as that clip, but we're going to use the new one that we just exported. So choose phrase. Now that note that extends 4 measures has been copied. So now just press sound, wave file, 54, that's the new one, press enter. Now it's importing it. Now press exit, shift sound, edit, scroll over, and make that forward. That's all we have to do. Just remember to make it forward. Let's enable the clip, listen to it. Now I can hold down clip and then shift 2. That's going to choose the row above it. Notice it just changed in the middle of it. So let's choose shift tempo. We see step length here. Let's just change that to 64. Now every 4 bars it'll change. So if we change it early, it's not going to ruin it. So I'm going to press it, let's say now. It's going to wait till it's all done. Now it's going to shift over to the next one. Now my playing wasn't very good, so I'm just going to delete that. Gone. So that's all set. Now what I can do now is I have looper track set up, so I can just record over this, maybe experiment. So I'm going to press shift input and arrow over. Now we have in reverb send. Let's turn that up. So my voice is running through this. I'm just going to press record. And we're highlighted where we want to be. And I'll just play over it. I'll turn it up. Now if I press shift input, let's turn the reverb send down. Now I just noticed I had record source to mix out. So that recorded everything, including the variation. Now I can add to that. So let's just choose here. That's set to mix down as well. So we'll just improvise over it. Press record, play. That down, turn this one up. Turn up the reverb. Make it higher an octave. Let's say I want to add vocals on top of it. So let's make a couple of different variations. So this variation, I'm going to choose Sound, Edit, scroll over, Export. Again, I could just press Function Enter, but I just chose that way. So we have a new file. I'm going to exit. Just delete it. So right now we have this first clip. Let's copy it. Go down one row, press paste, choose phrase, and then now let's press enter so that we select the clip, press sound, wave file, export 55, then remember shift sound, edit, change it to forward. Let's turn it up and press play. There it is, it's looping. Now let's go back to the first one. So clip, and go to that row. That just goes right back to that one. Let's switch it back. Now notice that's not as loud. Shift sound, edit, scroll over, turn up the gain. Let's go 12. There we go. So now let's make a totally different beat here. Just make that 16 length. So I have a new beat here. Now let's just play over that. I'm just going to choose here, change record measure to 4. We're just going to record. The drums in because we're in that mix down record. Now I could, let's say we wanted to do 2 variations. Now we're going to turn up reverb. Now variation 1, I'm just going to sing over it. So let's press shift input, turn up the reverb. Now let's make variation 2. Variation 2. Variation 2. So there's a lot of reverb going on here. Variation 2. So there's that, and then this. And then just the music. So I can just select what I like, go in the sound, edit, function enter. So I just exported just the music part. I'm going to press exit, then press this one, edit, function enter. So it exported that one, exit, choose this one, edit, function enter. I'm going to hold shift right, choose delete. That's just to free up all the memory. And now down here, we're going to do that same thing. So copy. Now go down one, paste, just the phrase. Now this one, choose sound, wave file. Now remember we have these 3. I'm just going to choose variation 1, make sure that's what it is, preview, press function. Variation 1. So there's variation 1, choose import. Now we're going to exit, shift sound, edit, forward, exit. Now I'm going to copy, paste, phrase, press sound, wave file, and then this is variation 2. Let's press function to preview. Variation 2. So there's variation 2, choose import, exit, shift sound, edit, change it to forward, exit. So now, if I choose clip and then this one, that's selected. There it is. let's choose the next.
Variation 2. Variation 2.
So now let's hold down clip. Let's choose row 2. Press mute. Now we're going back into here. We're going to create scene. So just press clear and erase all the steps. And now we're going to press function 1. So we just stored that one. Next, that row, function 2. Clip, function 3. Clip, the last one, function 4. Now we're going to choose shift and that step. We're going to chain on length. So the first one, we'll make that 2. Then it's going to jump to the next one, length. Let's make that 2. And this will be length 1. And we'll do this 4 times. Start here, press play. So we see everything right here. 1. You're going to see it jump to the next one. So it played it twice. Now we see the arrows, and it's going to jump to that. Now this one, it's also set to length 2. Playing 2 times. Now it's going to jump to 3. Now that's set to 1 bar. That's set to 1 repeat. Now it's jumping to variation 2. I set that to play 4 times. So stay tuned. In the next video, we're going to get into drum kits using samples on there. We're also going to look into slicing.